Ladies and gentledevs, welcome! I was originally thinking about structuring this video into two parts, with pros and cons, but now I'm thinking about splitting them up evenly like this. This way I can lift your spirits, crush it, lift it again, crush it again, and so on. Let's begin! The number one pro is that you get to work on your dream. Okay, let's move on. The number one con is income insecurity. When you get a job and work for a company, you have something called a stable income, which means that you know exactly how much you will be paid every month. And if you lose your job, you get some sort of severance or redundancy package. And then there is a job center or something that pays you money until you find a new job. Keep in mind that everything that I just said differs depending on which company you work for and which country you are in. But the point is that income and job security is much higher when you have a job despite all the layoffs. But when you work as a sole proprietor, things are different. For example, I have no idea how much money I'm going to receive next month until the end of this month. And every month is different. Some months I make pennies, some other months I make whole dollars. Now this does change if you start making too much money. For example, if you make over $100,000 in 1 year, then you could just put the whole sum in a saving account, and next year you could pay yourself an income based on the small percentage from that money. This way you will have something similar to a stable income. But for that to happen, you will need to make $100,000 first. And in reality, this is quite difficult. Pro number 2, the freedom to move anywhere you want. A few years ago I lived in Stockholm. The rent was high and the crime rate was even higher. One day one of my friends said that he hates living here and he wished he could live in one of the smaller towns. When I asked why he won't move, he said that it's because of his job. He has no choice other than to stay. And then I asked myself, wait, why don't I move? My job, both as a game developer and now also as a YouTuber, is on the internet. As long as I have a semi-decent internet connection, I can do my job. That means I can live anywhere I want. So I moved. I can't emphasize how important this benefit alone is. In my current place, which is outside of Stockholm, I have 2 to 10 megabits per second internet speed, and I'm managing both my online jobs with it. Not to mention lower rent and zero crime. My dream right now is to buy a big house with like 5 bedrooms in the middle of nowhere and become some hermit farmer or something. And the truth is that I could probably do it with just $50,000, which is a laughable amount of money for anyone who lives in a big city like New York or San Francisco. I'm pretty sure you can't even buy a tent with that kind of money in those cities. Con number 2 is the sheer amount of competition. The market is extremely saturated right now, and I think it's gone worse in 2024. This is my first month wishlist gains for my previous project, where I did this wishlist campaign in 2022. And here is the one I'm doing now, despite the fact that this time I have a YouTube channel that helps with the promotion. By the way, please wishlist, link in the description. Events such as the pandemic has also caused an increase in the number of indie devs due to the fact that everyone stayed home and made indie games. I also suspect that all the layoffs that keep happening in the game industry also contribute to the increase of indie dev studios and solo game devs. The game industry is getting worse, and if you think that the indie space is safe, you're wrong. Bad things happen to indies too, you just don't hear about them because we're too small and no one can hear our screams. Pro number 3, surviving the AI apocalypse? Question mark? I'm not entirely sure about this, but if all the jobs are being replaced by AI, then won't all the independent self-proprietors be the only ones left? See, the thing with sole proprietorship is that you learn to adapt to the changes of the market, and you also have the creative control to choose what to do with AI. You could use it to improve your work, or you could abstain from it and market your game as AI-free. And in a sea of AI-generated works, maybe this type of marketing strategy will even work. We also have to take to mind that regardless of how AI develops, other forms of automation has so far been beneficial to indie devs, especially solo devs. One of the reasons why independent game development works today is because of the sheer amount of work that has been outsourced to others. The game engines are just available to everyone. Something complex like pathfinding that requires an entire team to work on it can now be applied to our projects within 5 minutes, more like 2 minutes. Not to mention all the open source software that are just available and are making our work super easy. Truth is, there are hundreds, if not thousands of people who are working with us and for us. We just don't know them or see them. The The way it used to be is that every company who wanted a specific future had to hire a team to make that specific future for them. But now, these tools are making it look more like this. AI is somehow the same. I might just be copying, but maybe we are at the very least last in line. Con number 3. You are not truly independent. No matter how much you try, or in what field you become a sole proprietor, you are going to be at the mercy of some big corporation. I work with 5 corporations, 6 if we also count YouTube, and the decisions that these corporations make will affect me for the better or worse. So far there hasn't been any major effects on my life, but there might be. Let me give you an example. The Unity controversy did give me a bit of a scare. Even though I knew they would walk back on their decision, what I was mostly worried about was what else they will do in the future. Changing software and adapting to a new one is difficult. You would have to spend months, if not years, learning the new software. Hell, I couldn't even make the jump from Blender 2 to 3. When I was younger, my life looked like this, but now it looks like this, and I can't go back to this. And then there is of course the market and what the market wants. This hasn't been a huge problem for me. I'm lucky that what I want to make is also what people like to play. The genre and the themes that I choose are already among the popular ones. But for some of you, this might not be the case, and that is something that you have to watch out for. And now for the final pro. Sorry, I can't come up with one. Good luck guys, and don't forget to subscribe and wishlist my game. Bye!